Ma, the meatloaf.
Mom, I'm recording a podcast.
Mom, my podcast.
Welcome back to Faywatch. This is Will. I'm here with Rachel. I'm here with Dina.
Hi. Hey, Will.
Hey.
Hi.
Will, where are you? Where are you broadcasting from?
Wow, thank you for asking. I take, as I do most things in my life, my lead from Rachel. And so I now have sort of ensconced myself in my little bedroom stew. And
Wow.
I'm just hoping it sort of does for me what it did for Rach.
Yeah.
In episodes 10 and 11.
You're looking really cozy. You just kind of need to sit back and sort of relax and like let the thoughts
just take over
from you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. We're taking off. We're
Things are
zooming.
happening.
There's a lot of plot developments to keep up with. And you know us, we try not to get bogged down in little action sequences. It does sort of turn out the rest of the book is almost one big long action sequence.
Famously, yeah.
So, you know, we're sort of just going to play it fast and loose. I guess there are spoilers in the sense that the book is ending. So I think maybe that doesn't even qualify as a spoiler. But I don't think we need to belabor this any further.
Let's not belabor.
Let's go kill some fucking archangels, you know?
Let's dive right in. Okay, great. Before I dive in, actually, I said let's dive in, but actually I need to kind of take a step back and let you guys know I kind of want to level with you.
Okay.
I had a bit of a relapse this week.
Uh-oh.
This is relevant to sort of my preparation for the podcast. I had a relapse this week.
Of what flavor?
Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic on my iPhone.
Oh no, Rach.
Wow.
And this is one of those things, it's sort of a, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. But if you grew up playing Roller Coaster Tycoon...
I did indeed.
You did?
Of course.
Oh, of course. I loved Roller Coaster Tycoon.
No, of course I did. You take the little like mechanic guy and and you drop him around and you,
Oh my gosh, so you guys know.
And the people who get lost, like you have to pick them up and bring them to safety.
You have to help. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, right.
You gotta make sure people don't drown. There's like the little vomits. Do you remember the
little vomits? It's, from what I could tell, impossible to run a kind of profitable theme park. I never really managed that, so. Yeah,
I mean, it's difficult. I'm incredible at it. I am a tycoon.
I believe that. You're a natural tycoon, Rachel.
I am. Just like my business savvy when it comes to roller coaster parks is actually something
unmatched.
To behold.
Yeah. No, I believe it.
Unfortunately, I had a relapse and I got back into Roller Coaster Tycoon this week. And now I can only play it on my phone because you can't really play it on Max, on Max anymore. And so, listen, there's a lot of tiny little details in this game, and the damage that this game will bring to your hands and your wrists is really
30 something hands and wrists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad. It's really bad. And it's so bad. I've been, as we call in this household, I've been double crab claw when I go to sleep at night because I have to put on my carpal tunnel wrist braces for both hands.
Well, I'm glad you have two.
Yeah, well, sometimes, when I'm not in such a dire state, sometimes I'll just do one, just to, like when things are acting up. But I'm going double crab claw these days.
I'm sure all the park goers are really grateful for your sacrifice.
No, I mean, the experiences that I create for my patrons.
And we're sort of quickly reaching a point where what is the difference between a virtual little digital person and like a kind of human flesh and blood sack person,
Exactly. Like I should actually put my talents to use in sort of the metaverse.
Right.
I could actually become a tycoon. So that's actually, thank you for flagging that. But anyways, I've been struggling this week and it's really doing a number on me physically. So it makes it kind of hard, like, to type. Like, typing is not something I want to be doing right now. And so, is this a very, very fact-dense sort of span of the book? Yes. Did I take copious notes in preparation for this episode? No, I couldn't. Physically, I couldn't. And I also didn't want to.
No, you had to put the people first.
Yeah,
the other people,
like,
the smaller people. They're so small. You needed to prioritize them.
Our listeners aren't the only people who rely on me for diversion and thrills and enjoyment. So all this is to say, yeah, we're going to get a little loosey-goosey, okay? And yeah, so don't be upset.
But don't sue us.
Go read the book. You know?
Yeah,
like,
if you want a fucking recap of this book, just read it for yourself.
Yeah, or go to reviewsfromabookworm.blogspot.com, which is a chapter by chapter summary of this book.
Okay, that feels like we don't need to plug a competitor.
Yeah, plug a blogspot. Anyways, so I just had to get that off my chest. Thank you. Now we can get
You're
into
so
it.
brave.
Okay.
And so I'm going to rapid
Great.
fire. There's a lot of developments that, we could unpack. We're not really going to unpack. I'm going to rapid fire through some things before we get to the big showdown between Bryce and Micah, okay? Let me just rattle some things off that we learn. Daddy Autumn King is hot. I guess we sort of implicitly knew this, or we explicitly knew this. He wears black jeans. He only looks a few years older than Bryce. And he tells Bryce she's more like him than is good or something like that. Whatever.
Oh, I forgot that he was hot. That's
he's
fun.
really hot.
Yeah, me too. I keep forgetting to update my brain with that information, but the black jeans, important to go.
I know sort of all the details I could have picked out. Maybe that wouldn't be the first one you'd think of, but that actually really
that
struck
got me.
Because I'm wondering, I want to know what shoes he wears.
Yeah.
With those black jeans. Like, is it a Gucci loafer? Is it a boot?
Or is it those Cole Haan brown boots? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's probably those.
Or like Allbirds or something.
No.
No.
I mean,
But
if he's
he's a king.
I guess he's a king.
And he's also immortal.
yeah.
He's not worried about his bunions.
Yeah, it's
Well, wait, wouldn't you want to be more worried if you have to get through all of eternity?
It doesn't.
With those feet?
Everything heals.
That's true.
he only looks a few years older than Bryce, which is so weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like that, to be honest.
Imagine just having a hot daddy who looks your age.
No.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
Anyways, don't care about the conversation, just needed to flag that. Next. Last episode, I think we were TBD on what Hunt's punishment is going to be. Turns out he's being sold to Sandriel. That sucks.
Yeah, that does suck.
Shock. Although, does it suck less than the other ones?
No,
Maybe.
no. For me personally, it's better than being crucified or having my soul put in a box at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, that one did seem like the worst.
Yeah.
Those are tough.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want any of them, really. But that's sort of his situation. Sandriel's a big old bitch and is putting on an iPhoto carousel of photos for him.
Yeah, in his prison.
Yeah.
He's in a prison,
So
but has
rude.
a flat screen TV just outside the bars.
Yeah.
I imagine it's, how that used to be the computer screensaver, is it would just that's what it is.
Exactly. So she's doing that. She's got the iPhoto fired up. She's showing him their text messages or something. She's a rude girl. Bryce finds out that Hunt was, I guess, given to Sandriel, maybe not sold, but Sandriel owns Hunt now or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I can't abide this. I'm going to go try to buy Hunt back with a big old 95 million marks check written by Jessica.
Yeah, unclear.
Unclear.
What is Jessica thinking? What kind of shady bank practices?
Yeah, I mean, has Bryce even gotten permission from Jessica to write this check? Honestly, I'm not sure.
I feel like I was guessing no when I read it.
Yeah. But in any event, it doesn't do the trick. Bryce even tries to throw in her Archesian amulet to sweeten the deal, which I don't think we've discussed the amulet on the pod, but...
Which, now that I've reread the end of the book, bit of an oversight.
You're like, ooh, kind of important.
We oversight.
This is an amulet that's 15,000 years old. It's worth 3 million marks.
Yeah.
Currency. It's from Jessica. It's to protect her because she's works in the gallery, but it was never kind of explained until now, why or what it is exactly. But she throws in the amulet and rude Sandriel just melts it.
When I was reading it at that point, I was like, damn, I thought we were going to get more out of this amulet. How is it just melted?
Yeah, maybe the Archesian amulet needs an amulet.
Right.
For itself, yeah.
How could you just get melted like that?
Yeah,
right.
Seems like,
isn't your whole job to not do that?
Yeah, so that's weird. But anyways,
I also, by the way, when Bryce was doing this, I was like, oh, surely there's some other plan afoot. Maybe she really thought of something clever. And no, she actually just was
No.
She's doing her best.
I will say, can I just know, I appreciate that, you know, we got the little, oh no, Hunt sort of betrayed her, whatever. But I'm glad we didn't get hung up on that.
Right.
I'm glad we just sort of skated past. She kind of got over her feels on that regard pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that perspective because I was just kind of like, interesting that we're overlooking him lying to you about all this stuff and manipulating you with your parents still being alive.
Yeah, and interestingly, I mean, that just for the whole rest of the book, due to circumstances, that it actually never really gets addressed.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Maturity or...
I think forgiving him and wanting to not have him be bought by Sandriel is cool and good, but you would also maybe want a convo at some point. To be like, that wasn't...
Yeah, that was not
Maybe
cool.
let's not do that again.
Going forward, how are we going to not
have
similar schemes and deception? But Sandriel's like, no. And Bryce is like, okay, well, take me instead. Which, babe, you don't have any power. Why?
Right.
Yeah.
Just
like, bad idea. No one wants you.
Right. So I don't think Sandriel was probably going to take her up on the offer, but Rune is like, no, that's actually my sister. So he does the big reveal that that's his sister. She's the daughter of Daddy Autumn King. And under Fey law, we own her. You can't take her.
Gasps across the lobby.
Right.
Love when a little kind of coverture works in the favor of the good guys, you know?
Yeah, I worry. I think that's probably
coverture.
Let's Google this so we don't.
Never heard that word in my life. I have no idea.
It's when the woman is legally not her own entity.
Oh, it's a law thing?
This is humiliating. I said coverture. Yeah, it's
Coverture.
a law thing. She's under her husband's protection and authority. Or, you know, if you don't have a husband, I guess your dad.
And I guess in the Fae, her older brother.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, sure. And then Hunt does his what's-her-face throwing rocks at the dire
Oh my god, Arya. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Go on. Get gone. I don't love you. But was that actually a reference to something before that? I feel like it was. Get gone.
I think it's just a common thing. In my head, someone let a bird go, and they threw rocks at a bird. Does that make sense?
No. No. I don't think so. I don't think that's
I don't know. I only know the dire wolf one.
Yeah, we dire wolf.
But I think that's a common thing.
Yeah, that's sort of
it's a mini trope.
Yeah, it's a mini trope.
I don't care about you. It's fine.
So yeah, Hunt's like, no, I owe you nothing. Don't ever come looking for me again, because he's trying to protect her or whatever.
Yeah.
Bryce is like, I know what he's doing.
Bryce is like, I've seen Game of Thrones. I get it.
Bryce leaves and is attacked by Crystallos once again, whatever. Faye Beta Kappa comes to the rescue and, like, saves her or whatever.
Well, because they have to save their princess, right? Isn't Flynn like, oh my god, you didn't tell me, like, you're my princess?
That's our princess.
Yeah.
The boys are so excited to have a princess.
No, the boys have never wanted anything more in their life.
Yeah, they just love a little princess they get to guard. They're like, we had no purpose in life, now we have a purpose in life, thank God.
Yeah, we didn't give a fuck before, but now Bryce is our princess. Just kidding, they gave a fuck, but now they give more of a fuck, I guess. Really exciting for them, it seems, you're right.
Yeah, I think it's cute. I thought it was really cute.
They are the most excited people that she's princess. She's not that excited about being princess.
No. Well, yeah, she's not really on that journey. But yeah, they save her.
Also, that was the thing with the amulet, right?
Right.
So, as we'll learn shortly, yeah, the amulet is the missing link. But I guess we'll say that for when Micah's explaining everything.
In his monologue.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. The summit starts. We learn that Hypaxia is, in fact, the witch queen, is the meta witch. The meta witch.
The anonymous med witch, who happened to be as elegant as a queen, is the new witch queen. I mean, kudos to me for making that extremely obvious.
You're so smart. You're so smart.
You nailed that one, Dina. It must be said.
I'm really going to lap that one up because I got so much else wrong. I'm going to cling to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? There's a lot happening at the summit. Again, we can't dive as deep, if you will, into the issue of oyster beds and shipping routes.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
I know. There's a lot to unpack there. Hypaxia and Therion seem to be emerging as an ally ship. They're both very pro-oyster bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, along those lines, can I there's something, I have no idea what it refers to, but it seems important maybe. So Hypaxia does this little thing where like Therion is complaining about building the canal or whatever and what it'll do to the oysters. Hypaxia sort of joins in and is like, well, people don't get compensated enough, something. So they kind of stand up to Sandriel. And then they finish this. Quote, the mermail just casually lifted his paper, flashing what looked like about 20 rows of markings, counting something. Hypaxia's eyes widened, bright with reproach and disbelief. And Therion lowered the paper before anyone else noticed, added another slash to it. A flush crept over the Witch Queen's cheeks. What is that about?
Okay, maybe he was counting, I don't know.
But a flush crept over? I think that's how many times they've banged. That's my theory.
Well, okay, that.
Her cheeks flush.
Oh, I think it was like he was paying attention to her and maybe she was like speaking up a lot and you stood up to Sandriel like this many times or something.
Her eyes widened, bright with reproach and disbelief. And he's a cheeky boy.
Okay, but what do you mean he's tallying the amount of times they had sex?
Like, what else would it be?
And why did he add another one?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But like, what else? What could it be?
It's definitely not that.
Yeah, I know. I genuinely don't know.
Okay.
But it seems like it should be something more. Maybe one day we'll know. Listeners, if you know,
yeah, please
do tell.
Relieve us of our something.
Yeah, something, certainly. Anywho, all right, now now it's time. It's time.
Suit
up mentally. Bryce, meanwhile, at the gallery, she's doing some Google research on how to free hunt. She's drafting new job applications on company time.
I can't believe that her search skills that she used before, which was what? Demon plus.
Yeah, like how to free slave hack. Whatever.
I love the idea that if they find a legal loophole, this will work out.
They do love a legal loophole.
She's looking at the wiki how. But yeah, so she's doing that. Jessica's at the summit. She gets a text from Bryce being like, whatever, help, or turn on the video stream to the gallery, whatever. She's like, SOS. Turns out Micah has turned up and it's not looking good. So Jessica, they're at the summit. Presumably they're still talking about oyster beds, who could say. And Jess was actually like, wait, does someone can I have the aux? Can I just hook up my iPhone?
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It was such a weird response to a cry for help.
Yeah.
And it seems to be exactly what Bryce wanted, so she kind of figured it out, but would not have been my first instinct.
Yeah. So we're broadcasting, feeds from the gallery to the whole summit. Micah shows up and he starts doing his big villain reveal speech. So let's talk about it. First big nugget of information is that the books in the library are basically what remains from the Great Library of Parthos. Very cool.
That was so fun for me. Not only are these fun special books, they're the most super special, most fun books.
Yeah.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
It was sort of funny because he starts describing what they were, and he was like, yeah, the banned books, they have impermissible subjects like evolution and mathematics.
Yeah.
And I was like,
right.
I didn't realize we were in a sort of creationist theocracy also. That didn't really get through to me until now.
Yeah. So these are the books that, in the last big war, whatever, 15,000 years ago or something.
Yeah,
the humans died to save these books. They knew they were going to die. Like their last stand against the Vanir when they were coming to invade Midgard.
Do you think all the people who died, do you think they were clued into the fact that they were protecting great romances of the Fae? Because I think I would have been pretty pissed off.
Lol. Yeah, the knowledge of a people it takes all kinds of books.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly.
So I think they did know. I think that was worth it.
So true. Also, I just still am like, what is Jessica's deal?
I know. A lot of questions.
So many question marks.
So basically the Archesian amulet was worn by the priestesses at Parthos, and now Bryce wears one. There's a couple of them. Bryce got a new one.
She got a spare.
Yeah, after the other one was melted. And then we have the whole darn thing about what was really going on with Danica. What was going on
Okay,
with
well, talk us through it, Rach.
Oh my god, where do I begin? I'm scared. Here's the thing. So Micah's like, I think, Bryce, you and I both realized about the same time what happened to the horn a couple days ago. Because basically they both apparently realized that after the Archesian amulet was melted, Bryce was attacked by the Crystallos
1 minute later.
And so turns out that was protecting her. And it turns out that that tattoo on her back, Danica, of course, ground up the horn into a fine powder, mixed it with some Medwitch ink, and tattooed it into her back. So the horn is in Bryce's back.
By the way, I can't help but picture Danica grinding down the horn with like a cheese grater or something. You know what I mean? Just not even being...
This mystical... Yeah, that's sort of a bit of a... Seems a little risky with this ancient thing, just to trust that its little powder is going to work the same.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, it's like, okay, maybe. I guess it does work, so I guess Danica...
Also... Not to problematize Danica further.
Should she have asked?
Right. It already was kind of sketch to give your blackout drunk friend a tattoo, but to put on her this dangerous artifact that will endanger her life for all of eternity seems questionable without consent.
Yeah, and Micah was like, oh, she did it because she knew you were never going to leave this job, so you're always going to wear the amulet to protect you. It's like, okay, was Bryce never for her entire life going to leave the job? Because, yeah, there are some question marks. I think, obviously, in book 2, we're going to have to sort of keep unpacking Danica, why Danica couldn't have, I don't know, brought Bryson on the plan or something.
Yeah.
We have a lot more where that's coming from. So, okay, so now we have to talk about the whole Micah and Danica of it all, the truth of what happened. So, I don't know, Micah's an investor in Redner Industries, Danica was freelancing there. They both kind of found out about this synth stuff. Micah puts it all out onto the market, and Danica goes and tries to get it off the streets.
But why did Micah do that again?
I don't know.
Is he just evil being evil? I honestly feel like that was my big question.
No, I think he implied he knew Danica would try and get it off the street or something, right?
I don't know. Maybe. That part's a bit of a question mark for me. But then he catches her trying to get it off the street, and he's like, nobody's going to believe that the party princess was trying to get it off the street. So I have you where I want you, and now you have to do me a favor, which, again, doesn't really make sense to me because she is in law enforcement. So it's like, okay, but okay, whatever, sure. And so the thing that he makes her do is to steal the horn.
Right. Okay.
He orchestrates blackout.
Right. He orchestrates the blackout. She steals the horn. But then she realizes what he wants to do with it, which, yeah, I guess wouldn't you realize that from the start? Unclear. And then she's like, wait, no, I don't want to give it to Micah. So I know what I'll do. I'll grind it into a fine powder and tattoo it into Bryce's back. Okay.
Why not scatter it in the ocean, you know?
Yeah. Look, the good thing about this, when you're reading it,
it's coming real fast.
Tension. Everything's coming in hot. You know, if we stop to pause on some of these things, might be a bit more of head scratchers. So maybe we won't. I don't know. Who can say?
We shan't. Yeah.
So then it turns out, no, Danica wasn't addicted to synth. Micah injected Danica with the synth and watched her kill the whole pack and then rip herself to shreds, basically. So
horrific. So horrific.
Oops.
But again, so all of this...
I guess not oops.
This entire thing...
It was intentional.
Because Micah wanted to get the horn.
In a larger sense, yes. He wanted the horn so he could summon demons from hell to finally beat the human rebels, which...
And then become Asteri, sort of, in all but name.
But I don't understand why... I guess I don't... His character, like, just really kind of doesn't track for me. He did kind of have all those rebels... slaves, and like he was nice to them at first and then he was mean to them. I don't know. I guess I'm just confused by his motivation.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
You did say at the start, Dina, when you were horribly wrong about predicting that he was going to be a good guy, you did, however, note that he seemed like he was someone who had larger plans. And that I do think is true.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he's into the rebels. He's sort of like, he's kind of like an open-minded, creative type when it comes to being a kind of
villain,
evil leader. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, he kills the pack, and then he spends 2 years hunting for the horn, and then realizes that Bryce is the key to finding it, I guess. Basically, all these wee events that happen along the way, like he's summoning the Crystallos, he injected Tertian, Maximus Tertian, and the Acolyte and the guard with Synth, because he was trying to kind of nudge them along.
Okay.
Yes, but why? And
yeah.
Why wouldn't
like, how would that help them find?
Why didn't he task them with finding the horn? He tasked them with solving the murders that he was committing. So
I don't. And then went around the back to be mean to the Autumn King, so that the Autumn King would tell Rune to find the horn.
He's either a genius or it makes no sense. It's one or the other.
Like, clearly, he's just so much smarter than us.
Yeah, galaxy brain. Bryce is kind of buying time, maybe for somebody to get there to save her, / kind of getting him to confess all of his sins on the live stream.
I feel like it's classic hero shit to be trapped by the villain and get them to confess the scheme. Doing it to a live stream, kind of impressive innovation on her part.
Yeah, that was good.
So Micah's like, anyway, all that being said, I'm going to inject you with Synth right now, which is going to kill you.
And Micah does not know that he's being recorded.
No. Micah injects Bryce with Synth to fix the horn, I guess, so that he can use it. And Bryce is sort of attempting to fight back. Micah grabs Syrinx and throws him into the big old tank with the creepy Nox, which is
so mean.
Micah blasts Bryce's back with power to use the horn. Nothing really seems to happen. Then Bryce and Lahaba are using books to like blast Micah into the bathroom temporarily. They kind of blast him into the bathroom, and he's going to be locked in there, but it's not going to last very long.
What is it? You open the books and they just sort of blast you?
Yeah, like whoosh.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. It's like Care Bears, kind of.
I don't know, but yes.
What a reference.
With their bellies, you know.
Yeah.
It is always nice, though, when you can blast a certain perfect amount of power from the books to hold him in the bathroom for the exact amount of time you need.
And at the right angle and everything, because I would fuck that shit up so many times before I got it right.
Thankfully, the girlies get it done.
Yeah.
Bryce jumps into the massive tank to swim after Wee Syrinx, who can't swim. Horrible.
Oh, Siri.
But I thought he could teleport.
Well, don't be bringing up, some very, very good points at this time. We can't engage with that. So she jumps in after Syrinx. Flynn is watching in the conference room, and he's like, oh, this is her ordeal. So this is her ordeal, I guess.
Damn, like, she is Faye.
She's having an ordeal, which...
Yeah.
Get in line, sweetie. I have one of those once a week. Am I
right? No, sometimes I run out of oat milk. It's like really hard.
Sometimes Rach plays too much roller coaster tycoon.
I'm like, excuse me, I've been there, honey. But anywho, she gets Wee Syrinx out. The knock is all scary, blah, 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 scary scene. Now is where we get to the crying portion. Which, let me tell you, again, in preparation and consistent with my relapse, I was listening to the audiobook. I listened to the audiobook of this twice to prepare, okay? So I didn't do nothing while I was playing, and I was just, like, weeping into my roller coasters whenever the Lily scene happens.
No, I full cried.
Yeah, no.
This wasn't like this is sad. This was a full cry.
Yeah, just tears. So Mike is almost out of the bathroom. Bryce is super injured. Syrinx is knocked out and 30 pounds, but she's not leaving him. So she's trying to drag him up the stairs. And she's like, Lily, come on, we gotta go. And Lily's like, you're not gonna make it in time. So Lily's like, basically, let me do this. Let me save you. And it comes to be revealed that Bryce says to her, Lily, you're free. I bought your freedom recently. I was waiting to tell you. I have the papers and everything. And you don't have to do this.
Which, can I just say, she's already in debt for Siri. She was going to take out a $97 million loan for Hunt.
Yeah. And
then she still took out another loan.
No, she's a girl after our own hearts, you know? Let's just dig ourselves deeper.
Yeah, I was going to say...
True, that's true. She's still spent less than
relatable.
grad school.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I guess at a certain point, it's just sort of a drop in the bucket. Well, I'm already literally going to pay this off for life, so throw another... large sum.
Why not?
Also, nothing made me smile more than Lily being like, "Oh, I know, Bryce. I snoop on you all the time.
Yeah.
Like I peeked in your drawer." Like the most little sister thing.
So sweet and cute.
Sister vibes.
And Lily's like, "I'm gonna do this," and she said, "Let the world know that my first act of freedom was to help my friends."
Oh. Lily.
And yeah, she's summoning her power and, you know, repeating various things, including, my friends are with me and I am not afraid.
Oh.
It's so sad. So she's going to break the tank glass and unleash all of the water to slow Micah down and buy Bryce time. But of course, she's a fire sprite, so she's going to be extinguished in so doing.
Right.
Anyways, this is a fun podcast, so we're going to keep moving, but deeply devastating. SJM doesn't kill too many important characters, so this one hits.
And it says she's glowing, bright as the heart of a star.
And all those fuckers in the conference room even give her a standing salute when she dies, even though they all don't care about, or most of them don't even...
They all sort of tolerate this state of society that she is oppressed by.
But they did rise to their feet.
Yeah.
They did stand up.
That's worth it.
No, right.
Yeah, that makes it better.
So she buys Bryce the couple extra seconds she needs to get up to Jessica's office with Syrinx, get together, take a shot of something, which turns out to be an antidote for the synth.
The synth? Yeah, that Hypaxia conveniently sent to her.
Otter mailed
right
her
before.
just like so she'd have it just in case. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if her venom made the thing. It would be. It is nice of her to send her a little, you know, a little thank you gift that saves her life. Like 2 days later.
Yeah. So she takes the shot or whatever. She's running around, action scene, assembling, as Dina called it. What is it? Not Schrodinger's.
Chekhov's Godslayer rifle.
Chekhov's Godslayer rifle. She assembles it. She gets that bullet. She's running around. It's in her teeth or something.
The bullet, which is Memento Mori, which we all know what that means
obviously
now.
we always did. No.
We always did.
We were pretending. But yeah.
I love that she's clenching the bullet in her teeth as she's running around and putting the gun together.
Queen shit.
Yeah.
She puts it together. It turns out that those few seconds that Lily bought her were indeed critical. And then she shoots Micah in the head. Yeah, in the head.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think.
And Godslayer bullets really slowly just worming his way, just tearing his entire head up. And Bryce says, you know what? We're not done here. I'm getting Danica's sword, which apparently she's had. She gets Danica's sword. Apparently she's had it this whole time in the gallery. She uses it to slice Micah's head in two and slice down through his whole body, just cleave him sort of in half.
The sword's magical, right? I couldn't do that.
No, you couldn't. Yeah.
That's
no,
like so much strength.
There's a lot of bones, among other things.
Yeah.
Magical sword, synth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's high on synth.
Yeah, true. I forgot about that.
She had a lot of magic to call the pieces of the gun to her, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Which I guess I didn't pay attention to with the synth. She gets Jedi Force powers or something with
her magic. And it should kill her again, but she had the antidote, so it's not going to. Mm-hmm. But everyone in the conference room is like, oh, fuck, she's about to die because she's about to...
Yeah.
And, you know, just to kind of ensure that all is truly finished. Because as Micah himself told us, you know, things regrow. So you really got to kill him good. And so then she lights him on fire.
Mm-hmm. Does she douse him
in gasoline or something? Yeah, which, I don't know. I guess she just had a tank of gasoline around in the office, as one does. And lights him on fire. He turns into a pile of ashes. And then the truly iconic...
It's so iconic.
It's
cherry
incredible.
On top. Yeah, she gets the vacuum out from the closet and vacuums his ass up.
so cold. That's just sick.
That's iconic. We have to give it to her. We just have to.
Yeah, props where it's due.
Everybody in the summit is just watching her vacuum up an Archangel's ashes.
Don't fuck with Bryce. So yeah, that's what I have for you today.
What a scene. What a scene to close this episode on. Just our girl doing a little spring cleaning.
Wow.
And that's part 1 of 3 action sequences. So
you'll have to tune in next week to get part 2. But thank you for joining us. As always, thank you to those who have shared the podcast, rated it 5 stars. Please do that. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram.
And most of all, thank you to Lily.
Pour one out.
Who sacrificed so much for all of us.
Rip.
Yeah. Rip, Lily, we love you.
Okay. On that note, bye.
Bye.
I don't think I'm going to say it because it's too negative, but I'm pretty sure that Sarah J. in Chapter 75 used the word semantics incorrectly.
Wow. Glad you got that off your chest.